The top stories from our commentary arm, Reuters Breakingviews on Monday. Aviva shareholders join the shareholder spring, and why Europe would welcome higher German wages. Robert Kohler's with me. Barclays, Credit Suisse, you had that piece on Friday.
Yeah.
Aviva this morning.
And don't forget Citi.
Citi, of course. Yeah.
Over in America as well.
Now, the point on Friday was clear. The shareholder spring.
Yeah.
Where does Aviva fit into this?
Yeah. So I think that this story is a subtly different twist on this sort of ongoing shareholder spring, and I think you can see up to an extent that contagion is spreading. In broadly a good way, but this one's slightly different. Where I think we had shareholders objecting to bankers' pay, and I think the objection really was they just thought that bankers were paid too much,
not an individual. So you don't think they targeted Diamond? You don't think they targeted Blank Fine?
These are all shades of grey. But I think when they were looking at the banks and voting against the banker packages, they were really against the remuneration policies. Now, there's quite a lot of that in Aviva as well. There are measures being placed which will try to change the policies going forward. But we think, and then the piece here is subtly different, because we think there's actually some underlying shareholder discontent with the senior management and the way they've been taking Aviva. Yes, that's all wrapped up in pay, but do you see the point?
Yeah,
slightly different.
So they're not too keen on him, on Moss.
Well, and indeed his senior lieutenants. I'm not quite sure how right it would be to personalise it, particularly on the chief executive. But clearly, he's the most important executive, so he's going to attract some of the fire. But I think it's about the performance of the business and the performance of the senior executive team, not simply that there's an objection to the way these people are paid.
Okay. And then this piece on German wages. I know I think it's the IG Metall Union is going for 6.5%. You say that actually this would be a pretty good thing for you.
It'd be a fantastic thing.
More expensive exports.
But you see, the point is,
but it would level it out. Right?
Look, we don't want to be too flippant about this. Very serious issue. But the point that we're making is that it could quite easily be seen as a way of reducing the stresses within the Eurozone. Because if German wages rise quite a lot, then comparatively, the periphery, which is trying to get its economies going, they will have a better chance at being able to compete. It's a sort of way of alternative to devaluation outside a currency union. Another option would be for those peripheral countries, Spain, Portugal, Greece, to reduce their wages. Well, that's a very difficult thing to do. So Germany increasing their wages has the same effect and could reduce the stresses. I think what you're going to say to me is, but Germany isn't going to swallow that, isn't it?
Well, they're not going to get 6.5% anyway.
Well, and we're very well aware of that, of course. And whether this is a solution that actually does get any traction is quite another thing. But I think it's worth pointing out that maybe the European situation will resolve itself through a number of different small measures, and perhaps if Germany has to swallow slightly higher wage increases, that might put a slightly less pressure on the peripheries, and taken together with a whole load of other stuff, perhaps that's the way out of the problem. Oh gosh, I wish we could get our way out of this one. Still a long way to go, but this might be a little.
All right. Many thanks, Robert. That's it for now. More from Breakingviews in our US show, Monday to Friday, 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 London time. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.